The following is a production of Learfield Sports.
He got it! The Illini come to Spokane. Looking to inbound. Gets it to Griffey. Layup. No! It's gone! What a game! They're rushing the clock. What a game! The Illini have won!
Fighting Illini Insider is brought to you by Fighting Illini Energy, the official electricity choice of Illini Nation. The Illini Card, the official credit card of the University of Illinois.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fighting Illini Insider. I'm Ryan Baker with the head coach, John Groce, and let the madness begin. The Illini are dancing in the NCAA tournament, returning after a one-year absence. On Friday, they'll take on the Colorado Buffaloes as the 7th seed versus the 10th seed in the East region down in Austin, Texas. I saw the scene when the Illini's name was announced on Selection Sunday that you were in the dance. Everyone could stop dodging, dancing around the subject. But what was it like for you and your team to know that you're in the NCAA tournament?
It was exciting, Ryan. I mean, I was so happy for those kids and how hard they've worked and the fact that they had set a goal shortly after we came in as a staff, and to see it come to fruition and the way that they did it, the way they kind of exceeded expectations, and then we had to deal with some adversity and then find a way to fight back and get ourselves in the mix. They were able to do that.
The team really persevered all year.
No question about it. I thought that was huge.
Are you wearing the wristband, or is it?
It's still on.
You still have it?
I still got
the
it.
date on there, 3/19/13.
I'm not taking it off.
You can't, but that was the stated
my wife's
goal.
made me wash it a couple times. Make sure you know that.
But you got a blue one, too. You got a new one to switch it up. But that was a stated goal from day one when you took over the Illinois program, to make the NCAA tournament. Obviously, it's a long road between then and now, but what a sense of accomplishment. As you mentioned, all the adversity you had to go through, and a lot of success as well. Yeah,
no question. It's gratifying I'm really, I'm not satisfied, obviously, because that's step one is to get in it, then you want to advance in it.
You just didn't want to show up to the party, right?
Right, but, at the same time, there's some gratification there for those guys and what they've been through, not only during the time I've had them, but in their careers prior.
Especially the seniors.
That's what no question about it. And so for those guys to have an opportunity, the one thing I know I've always told them, I said, fellas, if you want to advance in the tournament, the key to having a chance to do that, you got to be in it.
Right.
So
if you're not in, it won't matter, right?
Yeah. So we've I'm happy for them, and hopefully we can make the most of it on Friday.
All right, we'll break down the bracket a little bit later on the show with Coach, but right now let's look back at the Big Ten tournament where postseason play began for the Illini. What a thrilling finish against Minnesota, winning that one 51-49, but unfortunately a second-round exit against top-seeded Indiana, 80-64. Let's take a look at those highlights with Brian Barnhart and Jerry Hester on the call.
Got the band here, the cheerleaders are here, a lot of orange-clad fans in the stands as well, getting ready for the 8-9 game here today. The winner gets Indiana tomorrow at 11 o'clock. And it's 2-0 Minnesota. Here is Abrams, slides down the lane, kicks out top. Brandon with a head fake, drives inside the arc for two, and he buried it from the right wing. 30 feet from the basket, 5 to shoot, drives, down the lane. Brandon, floater is up and good. Brandon Paul with 4, come by. Here's Bertrand, feeds the post. McLaurin backs his way in, kicks in the corner. DJ for 3, and he got it. Finally, they break the ice. Richardson with a 3 from Richardson to the right corner, all the way into the basket, kicks to Paul, left wing 3, got it. Pretty pass by Richardson. Brandon points back at him. His fellow senior says, thank you, DJ, to Tracy Abrams. Abrams between the circle, bounce pass left corner. Paul fires a 3, got another one. He's starting to heat up. Brandon Paul with 10. Here is Abrams, kicks left corner, Griffey. Griffey to the basket underneath, left-handed layup is good.
Who is that?
Pretty move by Tyler Griffey. Almost without a field goal, without a point. Paul, lob inside. Igloo got free. Brandon found him, and Nana stuffs it home.
Austin Hollis coming back in the second half.
Yep, there's Bertrand, drives right baseline, got an opening, and stuffed it in.
He's okay.
Oh, Joe Bertrand, bad shoulder and all, stuffs it home. 6 to shoot. Brandon, crossover, spin with 2, shoots a tough shot for 3, and he got it. Or was he on the line for 2? A bad pass by the Gophers. Stolen by Abrams. Left wing, Paul, let's make him pay. And he buried it from the left wing. Brandon Paul for three. We needed that to stretch it out there. Andre Hollins the other way. Pass inside, deflected and stolen. The Illini get a steal. Richardson the other way for the layup. And is blocked by Mbakwe. Griffey gets it back and puts it up and in.
Great hustle.
On the putback. Great follow by Griffey against Ohio State. Pounds the dribble, drives to the paint. Off-balance shot, banked it no good. And Egwu with a tip won't go. And again with a tip. Third time the charm as Egwu just kept batting at it and it goes in. Paul drives. Floater in the lane is good. Brandon Paul with 17.
Time Egwu couldn't keep him off.
Abrams to Paul. Nice down the lane. Layup. Good. Counted. He's fouled. As Paul drives in, hitting the floor was Ingram to this one. First game of the day in Chicago. Abrams to Egwu. Out top to Brandon. Let's loose for three. Buried it. Oh, we needed that. It's the Brandon Paul show right now. He's got 23. Mbakwe with 6 in this half. 47-44 Gophers. Abrams for the lane. Layup. Good for Tracy Abrams. It's good, and he's fouled on the way in as they kind of ran away from him again. They had it momentarily. Abrams fights for the rebound. The Illini still have it back.
Brandon.
50
There
seconds. Back to Brandon in the corner. Drives in. Kick to DJ for the tie again. Please be there. It's good. Richardson buries a three. We're tied at 49. Oh, the Illini getting the ball back again and again, and they finally got it to go. The inbound on the side, get it into Austin Hollins, who nearly fell out of bounds. He traveled, he stepped out of bounds. He stepped out of bounds.
Andre Hollins.
Here we go, the Illini going for the win here in Chicago. Tied at 49, 10 seconds left. Brandon Paul with 6 out near midcourt. Austin Hollins on him with 4, with 3. Brandon drives, pull up for the win. It is good. He got it. He got it. And the shot clock and the game clock are gone. The Illini have won another one. Brandon Paul at the horn from 15, and the Illini have won it. 51-49. Can you believe that?
Unbelievable shot by Brandon. Wow. Look for Illinois hopefully to get off to a good start because they've already played one game. Indiana has yet to play. It may take them a little while to get going.
The crowd ought to be tremendous today. The jump at center, Zeller and Egwu, the Hoosiers win the tap. The Indiana bench. Tracy drives down the lane. Little floater over Farrell is good.
That was a better job by Illinois setting better screens.
Here comes Brandon. Right wing to Bertrand, who's back in. Joe stutter step down the lane with a layup. Good. Oh, Bertrand knifes his way through like a knife through butter. Left wing to Bertrand. Drives on Hulls. Baseline shot up over Zeller, and he got it. Bertrand can do a couple of things. He drives. Oladipo's on him. Richardson over the top for 3, and he got it. Or is he on the line for 2?
On the line, yes.
3:15 for the half. Richardson left corner. Alley-oop to Egwu for the layup. It's good. He lost his balance, but he was able to get it up there.
He was on Zeller's side.
Here's a pretty pass. Abrams to Paul, who lays it in on a tough pass underneath. Along the baseline, he got fouled on the way in. Abrams on the left wing, pounds the dribble, drives on Watford. Layup, tough shot. He got it to go. Abrams with his second basket for 4. Abrams left to right in the orange. Stutter step around Farrell. Head fake. Layup good. Abrams with 7.5, and it's 41-31 Indiana. The side McLaurin over Zeller, cannot shoot it. Zeller nearly stole it. McLaurin puts it on the floor again over Zeller. He put it up and in. McLaurin stayed with it. Tran to the right wing, guarded by Sheehy. Drives him to the hole, leans in, scoop shot good. Blocking foul on Indiana on Oladipo. Counted for Bertrand. Paint, back to DJ, open 3 is good. DJ Richardson with a 3. He's Griffey, looks to shoot it, drives under the basket, tough layup, and it's good. Griffey with 7 in the dribble drive, zigzags down the lane, floater over Zeller, good. Nice shot by Joe. 80-64, Indiana wins over Illinois here in the Big Ten quarterfinals.
The time has now come when all of their hard work and dedication is put to the ultimate test. They will put it all on the line to become NCAA champions, and you can experience it live. Be there at the 2013 NCAA Division I Men's and Women's Tennis Championships, May 16th through 27th in Urbana-Champaign, Illinois, hosted by the University of Illinois Champaign. Get your NCAA championship tickets today at ncaa.com/tickets and make a date with champions.
Welcome back to Fighting Illini Insider. Again, Illinois preparing to take on Colorado in their opening round of the NCAA tournament. But, Coach, let's look back at your trip to the United Center in the Big Ten tournament. What a field it was. A thrilling start to it on this past Friday with Brandon Paul buzzer beater to beat Minnesota. We're getting kind of used to seeing that around here with Gardner Webb and also getting the win over Indiana. Talk about that game and how important it was just to get one win under your belt. Certainly secured your resume on Selection Sunday.
Well, it was great to get a chance to advance in the tournament. That was what we call Season 3. We got Season 4 here coming up on Friday against Colorado. But I thought our guys showed great resiliency. I thought it was interesting. Our defense was really good in both halves at the United Center, in both the Minnesota and the Indiana game. Wasn't as good in the second half. We've got to, and our older guys talked about it yesterday, be able to defend both halves and be able to defend when our staff, when they're not in front of our staff, in front of the bench.
Right.
That's a key. I thought our offense was, Brandon was our offense in the Minnesota game.
Sure, he was.
Some other guys made some plays here and there, but
I believe he was 11 of 16. You take him off the stat sheet, your team shot 8 of 40.
No question.
And that's a big black eye there on offensively.
And then, first half of the Indiana game, I didn't think our offense was very efficient either. And then the second half, we really got it going on offense. I thought we played really well, but unfortunately, we weren't stopping them.
Right.
So we've got to be able to put two complete halves together, and that's kind of going to be what we're going to be. We're going to be talking about a lot about that this week.
That was the theme as I talked to you in Chicago. You said, hey, we got to put two halves
We
together.
do.
But to have that experience to go through that, playing, of course, you're not going to play back-to-back in the NCAA tournament, but you had a quick turnaround. Being in that environment, a packed house, that's got to help you moving on to the NCAA.
Oh, no question. All the experiences that we've been through, whether it's Maui or playing, at Gonzaga or in the Big Ten and all the different venues and environments against all the different styles of play, against all the different great players that we've got in our league, I think has really prepared us, for this opportunity Friday.
Indiana is the #1 seed in the East region, which the Illini are in, and they're taking on Colorado. But for the conference to get 7 teams in, we talked all year long about how powerful and difficult and arduous this conference, this league season was going to be, and it was. And to get 7 teams in the conference in the tournament, that says a lot about the Big Ten as a statement of truly being the best league in the country.
There's no question. And, obviously we felt that way the whole time. I thought Coach Izzo put it best when he said, right now I'd rather play the Lakers than another Big Ten team.
Right.
So we've kind of beat up on one another. But hopefully through all of that, it's made us all better as we get ready to head into postseason play.
Well, hopefully we can see the Hoosiers one more time in the regional final. But first things first is Colorado. When we come back on Fighting Illini Insider, we'll look ahead to that opening round matchup in the NCAA tournament against Colorado. Welcome back to Fighting Illini Insider with head basketball coach John Groce. And, Coach, you got a couple days to, celebrate it on Selection Sunday, but now it's time to start preparing for Colorado. I'm sure as soon as you heard your name called, probably seconds after you and your staff start pouring over tape, scouting reports, making phone calls. What can you tell us about the Buffaloes out of the Pac-12?
Well, the one thing about them is they're really good defensively, Ryan. Very reminiscent of playing against Big Ten teams. It's hard to score against them in the half court. They've done a great job. They're the #1 defense in the Pac-12. They're ranked around top 25 in the country defensively. They have a guy, Roberson, who averages a double-double and is the leading defensive rebounder in the nation. And then they have another young man, Dinwiddie, who has made more free throws in Pac-12 games than all the other Pac-12 players have attempted, with the exception of 4 players.
So he likes to get to the rim.
7 to 8 times a game. I mean, that's a ridiculously high number. So, those things stood out with their personnel. That, and they have 5 guys who average 9 points per game or better. So they're very well-rounded offensively, and then they're really good on the glass.
If you didn't think Coach was already studying up on the Buffaloes, you got another thing coming.
Yeah.
But you mentioned earlier about your defense. That's going to be very key with the guy who likes to penetrate, being sound and not letting him get to the spots he wants on the floor, talking about Dinwiddie. And also you got to put a body on somebody when you go for the rebound.
No question. We've got to be able to do that. We've got to be able to do that 2 halves, and that's something we're going to be talking a lot about this week.
How much of an advantage is it to have a fresh set of eyes or a new opponent? I mean, you've seen the Big Ten counterparts so much, and that contributed maybe some of the low scores, or it seems like it's ugly basketball, but you know what everybody else is doing. Now you get a new opponent, a new team. I would think it would rejuvenate you as well as the players. Say, we got somebody new here.
No question. I thought that Season 3 kind of rejuvenated us. Now Season 4, begins this Friday, and, we're excited about it. I think our guys are looking forward to it, a fresh start here as we get underway Friday.
This is your 3rd trip to the NCAA tournament as a head coach with 3 wins on your resume. May. How does that experience help you, and how are you going to translate that to your team preparing for Colorado?
Well, it helps a lot, Ryan. Not only that experience, but the experience that I've had as an assistant coach and the number of trips that we've been to the tournament and playing at different times and different time zones and with travel and itineraries and all those different things. I think a big thing this time of year is trying to avoid distractibility when it comes to the players. Let them practice and prepare, take care of all travel, tickets, all those different things, get those things out of the way. Don't let them become cumbersome. So that's a big key, keeping them mentally and physically fresh. But there's no question we're going to rely on those experiences here heading into this week.
Absolutely. And you look going to the tournament, you look at that bracket, Miami's a number 2 seed. Should you get past Colorado, you got a very talented Hurricanes team, but I'm sure you don't want to talk about that at all. You want to deal with Colorado first.
We're dealing one game at a time. It's worked for us all year, and we're going to continue to do that.
But certainly, as you said, you didn't just want to get into the tournament. You want to make some noise now that you're there. When I heard that the Illini were headed to Austin, I immediately went back to 1990. I was sitting on the bench when it wasn't a good trip. It was a short stay in the tournament. The Illini lost to Dayton in that opening round. So hopefully we'll be back here next week talking about moving on to the Sweet 16.
I'm with you on that. I'll take that right now.
All right, Coach, all the best to you. Wishing
Thanks,
the Illini the best as they head down to Austin. We're back with more on Fighting Illini Insider right after this.
The time has now come when all of their hard work and dedication is put to the ultimate test. They will put it all on the line to become NCAA champions, and you can experience it live. Be there at the 2013 NCAA Division I Men's and Women's Tennis Championships, May 16th through 27th in Urbana-Champaign, Illinois, hosted by the University of Illinois Champaign. Get your NCAA Championship tickets today at ncaa.com/tickets and make a date with champions.
Welcome back to Fighting Illini Insider. The Illinois women are also preparing for the postseason. It was a very successful campaign for Matt Bolant in his first year taking over the Illini women's program with a 5-win improvement from last season. Right now, let's take a look back at this past year for the Illini women.
After the Illini's on-the-road victory against Wisconsin, head coach Matt Bolant and the Illinois women's basketball team continued their busy February with another game on the road at Michigan on February 7th. Sophomore Ivory Crawford led the team with a phenomenal 25 points, while senior Charisma Penn added 18. The back-and-forth matchup had Illinois trailing by 4 at halftime, their first deficit at the half since Northwestern in January. Although the Illini made a last-minute effort to upset the Wolverines, they pulled away with a score of 72-69. This was the first road loss for the Illini since December 5th. But the Illini weren't down for long when they came back to the Assembly Hall on February 10th for their annual Play for K game against the Minnesota Golden Gophers. In front of over 2,700 fans decked out in pink, the Illinois squad caused 25 turnovers and went 5 for 12 at the three-point range. Junior Amber Moore led the Illini with a game-high 25 points, including scoring the game's last 9 points. The Illini swept their season series against Minnesota with a final score of 91-86. After an 8-day break, the Illini capped off a 3-game week when they took on Wisconsin on February 18th. The Badgers struck first with a three-pointer in the game's first few seconds, but Adrian Godbold responded with a tray and a jumper to give Illinois a lead that they wouldn't relinquish for the rest of the game as they pull ahead 60-53. Charisma Penn and Adrian Godbold were stellar as they combined to score 42 of the game's 60 points. This was the 40th double-double for Penn, as she is now tied for second all-time in the Illinois record books. The Illini also lit it up on the defensive side, forcing 27 Badger turnovers and collecting 17 steals. The victory improved the Illini's record to 15-9 overall and tied for third place in the Big Ten. It also marks a season sweep of the Badgers for the first time since the 2000 conference season. Just 2 days later, the Illini hit the road to take on their next opponent at number 7 Penn State. The Nittany Lions came out swinging in the first few minutes of the game and never let up as they came away with a 95-62 victory. The Illini did achieve breaking the single-season steals record with 321 in only 25 games. Adrian Godbold led the team with 17 points and a career-high tying 7 steals. Shaking off their loss to Penn State, Matt Bolant's team returned home to take on the Indiana Hoosiers. The Illini struck first with a 10-3 lead in the first 3 minutes and came away with a 73-60 victory in front of 3,000 fans. This marks the 4th straight home game victory and allowed the Illini to improve to 16-10 overall. Finishing their last home game at the Assembly Hall, the Fighting Illini took on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Senior Charisma Penn went out with a bang, notching her 13th double-double of the season with 24 points and 14 rebounds, while senior Adrian Godbold added 14 points. Illinois pulled within 4 early in the second half, but Ohio State scored the next 6 points and never trailed by less than 8 the rest of the way. The Buckeyes came away with a 64-53 victory. The Illini then traveled to number 25 Purdue. Both teams favored a fast pace in the early going, with Illinois jumping out to an 11-9 lead. But Purdue scored 6 straight points to go up 15-11 as the lead went back and forth for the rest of the game. Although the Illini led by 3 with 12 minutes remaining, they fell 76-65 at Nike Arena. Charisma Penn passed the 1,000 career rebound milestone and became the 15th player in Big Ten history to do so. With the loss, the Illini become the 6th seed in the Big Ten tournament. Later that week, the Illini traveled to Chi-Town to play in the first round of the Big Ten tournament against number 11, Wisconsin. The Badgers grabbed an early 12-6 lead, but the Illini ramped up the defensive pressure to put together an 18-6 run with less than 8 minutes left in the first half. But with the Badgers going perfect from the free throw line, they managed to pull ahead by 1 point with 3 seconds remaining in the game and advanced to the second round of the tournament with a 58-57 victory. For more information on Illinois women's basketball, visit fightingillini.com.
That'll do it for this week's edition of Fight the Illini Insider. Once again, Illinois headed to the NCAA tournament to take on Colorado in the East region down in Austin, Texas. They'll tip it up at 3:40 Central Time on Friday. The Illini certainly glad to be putting on their dancing shoes, and even though it's spring break here on campus, there's nowhere else they would rather be than Austin, Texas. Hopefully, we'll be talking about a Sweet 16 appearance when we see you next week here on Fight the Illini Insider. Until then, for the head coach John Groce, I'm Ryan Baker. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.